the old professor is a great tactician. In fact, that's what he studies as a hobby. He enjoys studying the tactics, especially of the Vietnam War.
And look at that sky now. I don't see any black clouds there.
Whoa! Car way off. That's P.J. Jones.
Although it's hard to tell.
Yeah, he's deep in the tire barrier. But you certainly, well, you can see kind of the number, the 98 on the car, and his head moving around, which gives you to believe everything's fine. In fact, you almost take it for granted that when they get into the barrier like that, they're still going to be fine. Here it was, Emerson Fittipaldi.
See, just got off that line. See, the line was, whoa, see how he accelerates in that grass? But what happens is the line, he just went a little wide, and it's just damp there, and he got on there, got the car sideways. That's all she wrote.
So P.J. Jones ends his day up in the tire barrier. There is Christian Fittipaldi, who is now challenging for second place. Gil DeFerrin just ahead of him.
Back live at Road America, the race is still underway, but there is a full team meeting of the Pac West operation at Canada Corner.
I got to tell you, these guys made contact. I couldn't believe it. And what happened, look at this. Now he comes down. That's Mark Blundell on the inside. Tries to go inside, makes contact slightly, runs a little wide. Oh, and Mauricio tried to take advantage of it and got up the inside of Ribeiro, clipped him, and ran over and hit his teammate Blundell. All because of that. Interesting, last year, Mauricio and I went out together. We made contact at turn one when he spun there. I don't think I want to be a teammate.
Let's watch.
Ribeiro was a little slow out of the kink. Blundell dives down the inside, gets through okay, runs a little wide. Little contact, nothing big, accelerates. Oh, and there Mauricio comes into vision there where he clipped across the front of Ribeiro. He was taking advantage of both there, going slow and tight through here. Now look, Mauricio tried to dive up the inside. These guys look like they maybe made just a little, yeah, you just saw it move the front of his car, of Ribeiro's car, the second car. Mauricio tries to take advantage. Ribeiro comes back, clips him. Boy, he almost got him up on the air a little bit there. Spun him around. What a day we are having.
Another incident of wheel-to-wheel contact, and that means someone goes up in the air. Here's the view from Blundell's car once again as they're beginning to climb the hill. Here comes his teammate across his bows, and bang.
And Blundell had to be thinking, where did he come from? I didn't pass him. I was in front of him. I just passed Ribeiro.
Well, Zanardi's been trying to get around P.J. Jones. This was just a few seconds ago, and it's not as easy as it looked. P.J. apparently was. Whoa! Zanardi gets in trouble trying it again.
He tried it in the same spot where he had a problem. This is what we were talking about. It's very difficult to pass it, and they are dangerous spots. He's out. That's his race.
And his championship.
And more than likely his championship.
Alex Zanardi climbs out. He's going to be furious. You saw him. We're just showing in the replay where he tried it once, then he tried it again, and it got him into the wall.
Here he'll come in here. Now he's going to go around the outside. PJ doesn't see him. He's taking the racing line. Boy, he got up there. PJ, I don't think ever saw him on the outside like that. Boy, that was a lucky maneuver. He's going to be very upset. Look at him just pulling that off, throwing his baklava and his, whoa, he's upset.
And a frightening situation when he rolled up like that, almost put his head up into the barrier fence.
Yeah, but you can tell. See the mark on there was a little black mark right on top of his helmet where it looked like it rubbed across something. But he's more upset, not about the incident, but he's upset about the results. Took him out of the championship, took him out of another race win.
He had this race handled in the early laps, certainly had the fastest car on the track, but that incident gives it over to Michael Andretti. Bobby Rahal comes forward into second place. Oh, look at this anger. He's looking for somebody to shakes off his PR guy, Michael Knight.
See, he comes in here again, and that's the racing line that Parnelli Jones has taken. But look at this.
Well, and as a result of this, and some other debris on the track, they're going to go full course yellow. That means, of course, that the field will bunch up. The pace car will come up. And Mike's trying to say Alex does not want to talk at all. I think Alex does, but everybody would prefer he doesn't.
Win this race if you were able to stay out of trouble?
It's difficult to say because now I'm here talking to you. I should be out there fighting for the win, but I think
Greg Moore. Greg Moore gets into the barrier big time in the same kind of trap. And looks like Christian, or that looks like Emerson maybe.
Emerson drove over his wheel that was sitting out in the side. I saw him try to go around. That looks like, look, I think that's Christian Fittipaldi. He's coming over to have a word.
Several red cars. And the safety team is already there.
Well, they look like they're having more than a couple of words there. Looked like Christian was maybe giving him a shove. They had to separate him. Yes, that's Christian. He's hot.
Oh, Christian's furious.
That Brazilian temper. I saw earlier that Greg Moore in the corner previous went around the outside of him, and I guess they didn't have room when they got up the other side.
Well, the IndyCar safety team separates the two. Greg Moore, who is privately a very mild-mannered driver, but hot on the race cars, and Christian Fittipaldi, who is absolutely furious with this situation, wisely walks over behind the wall, still angry. And Emerson Fittipaldi indeed was also through that accident, and he's out. The right front wheel cut off the car. We have a full course yellow for the second time of the day. Boy, one very angry guy. Let's go up and take a look at this. This is from overhead.
Okay, see Greg on the outside around that red car, gets around the outside. They come back, and oh, it looks like, well, I thought Christian kind of cut in on him a little bit there.
Now watch, let's see.
And they tangled. Now his wheel's out there. Hits the wall there, and I think you'll see a wheel come off. Yeah, there it was. It'll go out and it'll sit in the track, and it looks like Emerson comes alongside somebody else and runs over that wheel.
And Christian goes over to talk to him.
He's going to have a word, grabs him. What are you doing?
Moore steps out the other side and almost pulls him across the car.
Walks away. You know, that's a
smart thing to do.
It is a smart thing to do, but I can also understand everybody's tempers are hot. Christian had made a couple of good moves and was moving up.
The field, perhaps the most qualified in IndyCar history. World championships in both Formula One cars and sports cars. 7 IndyCar titles, 131 total IndyCar victories between them. Jimmy Vasser, who has won 3 of the first 5 races of the season and is the points leader coming into this race, will bring the field up to speed. And we have a crash in turn 4. A crash approaching the green flag, and many, many cars are involved.
Well, something has obviously gone wrong on cold tires. Maybe that might be the possibility. A half shaft braking. It looked like one of the cars went directly 90 degrees to the right, so we're not quite sure, and we got quite a collision here on our hands.
At least 9 cars involved, at least 9 cars stationary right now. No idea how many may be damaged, but still circulating. I see Eddie Lawson's car going by, missing half of its rear wing. You see the drivers climbing out of their cars. There is Jimmy Vasser, the pole sitter, as he makes his way away. We have a red flag on the racetrack. Obviously, this cannot continue. We have a red flag, all stop, and we'll start all over again. Let's get down to Jan Bikas in the pit lane.
Bob, because we have a red flag, we're down here with the Ganassi Racing crew, and they're quickly working on Jimmy Vasser's spare car. They are one of the few teams that has brought a spare car to pit road. They are hoping that they will be able to use this car. Of course, they'll have to wait for a ruling from IndyCar, but the crew frantically down here trying to get this car ready.
There is the scene from high overhead. Now we get word from the officials that backup cars will be eligible for the restart. On the left, Jimmy Vasser. On the right, Brian Herta, talking the whole situation over. They were 2 of the 3 cars on the front row, and the action began right up there on the front row. It appears that all the drivers are out of their cars. The safety crews are working on them. Let's take another look, Scott.
Well, it looks like Jimmy Vasser on the pole position just turned right. Now, I would say something must have went wrong with the car, because if he got on the gas too soon on cold tires, usually the car would go to the inside like we've seen before numerous times, and this just turned right. So we're not quite sure why that is. So the guys are going evenly side by side, and a little bit of acceleration will come up here very shortly. I would say those 2 cars between Fernandez and Vassar are very close, very close. The left front wheel of Fernandez was hooking on the inside of Jimmy Vassar's right rear, and I would say those guys were probably just a little bit too close for the start.
Take another look and watch the action behind them as the second and third rows take evasive action. Vassar's car, the red one, spears up, touches Fernandez, collects Brian Herta. Andre Ribeiro into the wall behind Herta. See Al Unser Jr. and Paul Tracy down low. They may have escaped the debris. Gilles de Ferran involved. And collisions at the back as well, because keep in mind, the cars at the back of the field are going every bit as quickly as those up front.
Well, many things are happening for the guys at the rear of the field. They're trying to miss everybody that's having problems in front of them if they're spinning, and you're also watching for debris as the debris is maybe coming down across the track, or as you saw, maybe a few tires are bouncing off the pavement, and you want to make sure that they're not going to come down and land on top of you. But this is something that is just horrendous on the start, because the guys are wanting to turn around. Here's a different view right now. I've seen the guys from the rear package, and I would say everybody's very close, not wanting to give an inch here on the very beginning of the race. Looks like Fernandez is just coming down to catch the rear wheel of Jimmy Vassar.
And then it's all skate behind as everybody gets on the brakes. I have never seen anything like this, certainly not at IndyCar racing. So many cars involved as they approached the green flag. Literally half the field involved. Now you ride on board Vassar's car, looking to the rear. Let's watch and listen.
Well, there you go. Jimmy, you could tell by the in-car camera, was not accelerating. It was even throttle, and obviously the two guys just touched wheels and off they went.
And a melee ensued. There is Alex Zanardi, Jimmy Vassar's teammate, sitting in his car in the pit area. There you see some of the damage, the residue of a spectacular collision. We'll be right back live to Michigan.
So they all clear the slower car with the exception of Pruitt, who will handle them up now. And look at as they come around Vassar. Vassar just not performing this race. Whoa, up against the wall. Oh, no. Unbelievable. Leader of the race, Alex Zanardi, pushes high into the wall, and his day is over. Ribeiro will take over the lead under yellow. That's Chip Ganassi, his owner. Oh, boy, just that. And that's what we talked about. Just, I mean, a lapse of a millisecond, and that'll happen.
And
Here
I think this came from traffic. He's going up high, goes around. Car's moving up just a little bit, gets in that gray. That's all. Boy. That's all it took. That's all it took. Once he got in the gray, just like we saw a while ago on Moreno, you just get in that gray. You got a little pushing up there. Look at him. He knows right there. He threw it all away.
Obviously, Alex is okay as he climbed out of the car, but he's frustrated beyond belief. He tells the crew, "Yeah, I'm fine."
That's
as fine as one can be. Yep. Boy, what a terrible disappointment for Zanardi. Dominated here, was very powerful here in the US 500 on the 26th of May. Powerful here again today, and then just that quickly, a brush with the wall that is devastating to the car. His expression says it all, doesn't it? So Ribeiro will take the lead under yellow as we look at it from Vassar's onboard camera.
Whoa, that little piece right there looked like it came back almost, I thought it made contact with Jimmy's car. Watch this, a piece comes off, the wing comes back there. I think it, and the tire, but look at this wing piece, comes back. No, missed. What's that? Yes.
Oh, that. What?
Oh, and over.
My goodness.
And hit. Look at tore
They take off the end plate on the rear wing on de Ferran. Well, I didn't see that earlier. Good call, Danny.
Oh.
And again, Jimmy Vassar picks the pace up way early, over in 3. They string out. We'll see if they get the flag this time. Front row. That's a green, you bet. Pole sitter leads him across the line, and we are racing here. As Zanardi falls in, look at Emerson Fittipaldi making a good move. And at the front of the battle, he touched into the wall.
He touched
Heavy
Greg
crash.
Moore. He touched Greg Moore right there. He just came down on him a little bit.
Emerson was really flying as he came through turn 1. Devastating damage to that race car. And of course, we go back under yellow. Keeping an eye on Fittipaldi to make sure he is okay and make sure that everybody else got through clean. We didn't see any other car get sideways as a result of it. But right here on turn 2, Fittipaldi touches tires, gets into the wall, and actually slid from the turn well down the racetrack and sits on the exit to turn 2. So under yellow, with a lap and a half complete here in the Michigan 500, we'll go back and see if we can determine how this happened. Fittipaldi was the red car, definitely making a move high of more. And I think you're right. He just touched tires. The fire there, of course, is oil when you smash it like
here.
that. Yeah,
See,
there it is.
He just clipped Greg Moore. That right there is an oil flash fire where a broken oil line or something and dumped it out. That is not fuel. See, he goes right around him on the outside. See your red car up there just in front. Moore looked like he moved up maybe a hair. They're in there racing just inches apart, and he just touched, and that's all it takes. See him down here? Greg goes up just a little bit.
Yeah,
Emerson's coming down. See the piece of bodywork flying in the air right over that car. Boy, and I tell you, they were at the front of the field. The really lucky part is the rest of the field didn't get involved in that.
Well, there is Carl Hogan, who is the owner of Emerson Fittipaldi's car. You can see he's frustrated and angry with that situation. We'll check on Emerson, and we'll be back.
Well, with this victory, if in fact he takes it, Al Unser Jr. will clinch the IndyCar Nations Cup for drivers from the United States. So that much has been decided, but there are several championships still to come. And certainly we have a huge wreck.
Oh, I think that's Parker Johnstone. Parker Johnstone, I don't know what happened.
That is in fact Parker Johnstone.
That car. Two cars upside, I don't know what's going on. Two cars upside down in a day.
We understand there may have been contact with Scott Pruitt. Let's see if we can take another look at what happened as Al Unser Jr. continues on his way. This is on the run down to
No, that's Paul Tracy. That's Paul Tracy down the inside. Paul clips him right there at the back. Taps him. They're trying to get through. Slides it sideways. Looks pretty harmless. Whoa, and just dug in the grass. Just must have been enough of a lift there to catch it.
Fourth career win, his fourth of the year, and the fifth of the year for Goodyear Tires. There is Parker Johnstone being worked on by the medics. You see he's talking to them. Here's the view from his car as Paul Tracy comes up from behind.
You can tell he's just checking his rear view mirror. He's on the inside a little bit. Oh, he gets tapped there, throws it sideways. Oh! What a ride. What a ride.
The medic's holding his head. He'll be put into a neck brace, as was Davy Jones when he went over. And Jones explained that they do that as a precautionary measure. There is Mark.
Watching behind this battle as well, you see how everybody tries to use the draft. The draft is really available here.
Well, it makes a big factor on this long straightaway, and for the first time in an Indy car.
One car with an engine going, it looked like, and no, against the wall.
That looks like Mark Blundell. Oh, he looks like he's okay, but he's moving in the car.
Mark Blundell, a stream of smoke. I don't know if it was because the engine went or because he was already losing it. Hard against the wall, but he climbs out immediately, and of course the yellow comes out. So we're in our second yellow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, his motor was definitely going. Somebody was very lucky there. That looked almost. Oh.
Oh, that's a lucky impact.
That's a lucky impact for him to walk away. And I'll tell you who else was lucky. Was it looked like his teammate.
Well, maybe not so lucky. Let's hope he's okay. He's down on the ground. And that's of course, the IndyCar safety team. Dr. Steve Alvey was the man over him. Look at him pass right behind his teammate. Tucks his nose under his wing. Not a good angle to hit the wall. Car does what it's supposed to, though. That disintegration is good. That's energy leaving the car. So as the car hugs the wall, this is at regular speed. Watch that car. Boy, oh boy,
I'm telling you, I'm sitting up here and having been in that position before. That really hurts. That really hurts.
Be very careful about Mark Blundell's condition now. He climbed out of the car under his own power, but seemed to collapse by the edge of the track. Safety crews keeping him there. You notice how they position the vehicle, too, to protect the work they're doing from any of the other cars should anything else happen.
He's definitely got a problem there. Something definitely goes wrong. It might have been that smoke we saw coming out of the back of the car, but he didn't even slow down. That's unbelievable impact he took there.
Moving down the closing moments of this run in the Molson Indy at Exhibition Place in Toronto. Whoa! Big time collision.
Oh, whose car is that? The back of that car up against the wall.
Ribeiro's in there. Johansson is in there. It's the other car that we really want to know about.
Wait a minute, who's
way
that?
Up the line, and we have a very serious accident. Very serious accident. And the course is blocked. I don't know how they're going to get cars through
Whoa,
there.
watch this, watch this. This car's really got to slow down. He didn't realize it was that block. They have got to stop this.
And that's Jeff Krosnoff over close to the wall, the one they're working over. As Steve Alvey heads down, one of the doctors with the IndyCar safety team, and Eddie Lawson tries to work his way through. So now, the closing laps, we have a serious accident here. 91 laps are complete. It breaks off the battle at the front of the field. We'll be back. Well, with this rather serious accident over in turn 3, they have just displayed on the front stretch the red and checkered flag. Here is the replay. Eddie Lawson into Krosnoff.
No, that is actually Stefan Johansson there.
Johansson.
And he was moving out to pass another car, which looked like it was Gilles de Ferran. I don't think he saw Krosnoff. He couldn't have seen him. And he moved over. Boy, he got up into that fence. That's his rear end of his car that ended up in front of Ribeiro.
They work with Jeff Krosnoff still in what's left of the car, and I have not seen that much damage to an Indy car in a very long time. And what this does is gives the race to Fernandez. Zanardi in second place. It has been flagged 2 laps early at the 93rd lap.